Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Dan.
Morning.
I hope you guys know that as you're driving on this morning call, I try to figure out what kind of car you have.
I do the same thing.
I know that Jamie has a Jeep because there's only one type of vehicle that has those type of quick disconnects for the roof.
Yeah, that's kind of an easy one. Plus the bouncy rough ride.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Well, how is everyone this fantastic Thursday morning?
Really good, but this call better be good because I was listening to Santeria by Sublime and I had to stop it to get on this call. So it better be a good call today.
Well, Jamie, I hate to disappoint you, but I have never sold out a stadium. So just on the paper there, I don't know if I can beat Sublime, especially in a 5-minute interlude. However, have you ever met Sublime in person?
No.
But you have met me.
I have not.
Oh, mic drop, game over. You're welcome. All right, let's hear from you. What's the kind of win we want to celebrate? Let's talk about something you're proud of. What have you done that you were just killed? You're just amazing at that you think was just a really good, neat thing that you did.
Sorry. So I got a call yesterday. So the closing on my first listing was supposed to be September 13th, and it looks like we're going to close either Monday or Tuesday.
Atta girl. I'm proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next, Audra.
I'm dealing with a situation where I've called a for sale by owner, and they turned out to be a divorced couple. They're divorcing, and that's a complicated clients I'm trying to get their listing. And so the wife, she got upset, and I was able to calm her down and get her back on my team. So now I've got them both. Hopefully they can work on getting together on the price today so I can list the home.
There you go, Audra. Great job. I love the way you said that, on my team. There you go. It's a team effort, baby. I love it. All right, Jamie. I saw Jamie unmute. Who else wanted to share? Don't be shy.
So I've been I've been actually reaching out to this old sphere, old clients, old leads, and I've been tailoring the message and kind of changing the message up, and I'm actually finally starting to get some responses from some people. So that's kind of good. Just emails that I'm sending out, text messages, things like that.
Got to shake up the conversation. If it gets stale, you got to shift it up. So great job in seeing that. Who else has been shifting their conversation lately or changing what they're sending out? Have you seen a change? Have you seen anything different? Right? That's key. If the one voice you've been throwing out there is not getting the hook, or here's a fishing analogy, if the bait you're using hasn't gotten a nibble, change the bait. Doesn't make it a bad fishing hole. It just means you got to change the bait. When you're talking to buyers, sellers, investors, first-time homeowners, people that don't know anything about real estate, your conversations have to be different. Your hooks, your lines, your sinkers are going to be different. But most importantly, the bait's going to be different. So remember what you're fishing for. Know what they're looking for. If you want more buyers, give them more options. You want to convert renters to buyers, give them free cash. Sellers want to know that they have buyers. So a lot of different things out there. Well, it's Thursday. We haven't spent a whole lot of time working on objections or situations this last couple of weeks, and I want to change that today. So we're going to jump right into it. What conversations, topics, or objections or situations do you want to talk about so that we can educate, grow, and develop around it?
I got one. I heard a YouTube video about it, so I guess I want to try it out. And it's basically, you're dealing with a client that a seller that wants to time the market. Like, they don't want to sell it right now. They want to wait till like the next year, because they think they'll get a better price, even though the inventory now is low, and they think that if it's more competitive, for some reason they think they'll get a higher price.
All right. Well, what are some thoughts on that, guys? Anyone else dealt with a seller that wants to wait because they're going to try to time the market better?
You know what I think? The market, when it was during COVID, in 2022, 2021, right? It started growing in 2021, and then 2022, it was still high. And I think right now, aren't the prices the highest that they've ever been?
They're up there.
People thought the market was the hottest in 2021 and 2022. So think about that. I think.
How many people waited to sell their house from 2022 to now and have realized less money? So here's the thing. I completely understand that you want to sell your home when you're at the top of the market, right? Jalen, other than waiting for the market to come up to what you think it's going to max out at, what's keeping you from selling your house today?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna get the price range that I want. I want to get 30,000 more than what I'm seeing my house for.
Okay. So what is it about that $30,000 that's your earmark?
That's just what I think it's worth.
Okay. What research have you done to find that information?
Well, I had some friends tell me about some houses that kind of look like mine in the area.
Yeah. Jalen, if you'd like, I can provide you a ton of information on what's going on in the market around your neighborhood to show you what things are actually selling for. Now, my question to you is, what's kept you from selling so far?
I don't know. I've just been looking, so I'm not really in any rush to
Okay.
sell.
Where are you going to go after you sell?
Possibly out of state.
Okay. Like where?
Texas.
Oh, yeah. Texas is nice. When do you want to get that done by?
I'm just looking at the dates right now, and within the year is nice, but like I said, I'm not in any rush.
Okay. So what is moving to Texas going to do for you?
It puts me closer to family, at least. And
Oh, that's nice. What part of Texas?
I mean, they're in Alabama actually, so I'll just visit them.
Okay. So you want to be on the eastern coast of Texas?
Yeah, pretty much. Just
I've
a
heard
short
Texas is
drive,
close.
a flight.
Okay. Short travel time, close to family. That'd be nice, man. How long have you been away from family?
Since 2016.
Oh man, that's a long time. Coming up on 8 years. It's time to get back home.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be buying a house in East Texas?
I haven't really considered it. I'm kind of dead set on getting what I feel like my house is worth here, and I feel like it's 30,000 more than where I'm seeing.
So when you sell your house and the market comes up to match that $30,000 price point, how's it gonna look when you go buy a house?
That's a good question. I haven't considered that.
Yeah, because
I'm
typically
assuming-
when the market comes up on the sale side, it comes up on the buy side too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so really, if you're buying and selling in the same market, it's a wash, regardless of what you get for your house, because you're buying the next one at that same market value. Have you seen what's gone on in the market lately with the interest rates?
Yeah, I've heard that they're high. I mean, I haven't done a lot of research, but I just know that they're high.
Yeah, they are. They're quite a bit higher than they have been, which has actually put a damper on buyers right now. So the market is actually trending negatively. And we actually, from all of our economists, are seeing the same thing that's going to keep happening for the next couple of years. I don't know about you, Jalen, but if you're looking to sell your house and make moves, I would do it at the top of the slide, not at the bottom. But like I said, if you're going to be buying a house in Texas or you're going to be buying a house in Alabama in the same market, it makes sense to sell your house and buy a house at the same time because you're getting the same value. If you sell your house high and you wait for the market to come down, in the interim, you're paying rent, which is just throwing money away. Or if you sell your house now and then wait to buy and the market continues to climb. So if you're doing it at the same time, you're selling it high, you're buying it high, it's the same. Or you're selling it low and you're buying it low, it's the same. Very often you can't get sell high and buy low. It doesn't work. The beautiful thing is the market in East Texas is probably not as strong as here in Tucson. So you can maximize a little bit more than you could there. When's a good time for us to get together and I can show you this information So you have a little bit more facts and data to play with and think about. And then when that decision time comes, you'll be a little bit more informed.
Let's do you have time tomorrow?
Fight with me a little bit on the appointment.
Okay. I don't sometime next week.
That's not fighting very hard.
Okay. I don't know if I want to have an appointment with you, honestly.
Hey, I completely understand, Jalen. I know your time is valuable, but would it be valuable to you to get the right information so that when you make a decision, you're making a well-informed decision?
Yeah, I can agree to that.
So do you like to meet in the morning or the afternoon?
How about the evening?
Man, I love evening times. When are you thinking?
5:30
What day?
Wednesday.
All right, let me check my calendar real quick. Wednesday, this coming up Wednesday at 5:30. You know, Jalen, I got 5:45 open on that. How's that work for you?
That will work.
Fantastic. End script. Did you guys pick up something from that?
Yeah, one thing I wanted to note that I thought was really good is you're not giving your opinion. You're not telling them what you think. You're saying based on the NAR or based on the economists or based on this. That way they can't come back and say, well, you said.
Absolutely. We are the source of the source. I'm not setting the sales price. I'm not setting the market. The market is. I didn't sell these 90,000 other houses. I sold some of them. But like, I didn't set the price. The market did.
And you were really working on his motivation because he kept saying he wasn't in a hurry. So you were trying to dig that out a little bit.
Yeah, people have a reason for selling. It's not just I want to sell my house for the fun adventure of selling my house. Oftentimes, they don't think about what's coming next. Those of you who've been on my call before when COVID happened, we used to talk about this. Is like when you're in person, you do the hands. Like if you sell high and you buy high, it's the same. If you sell low and you buy high, well, then you have a problem. So if you're buying in a market and you're selling in the market, it's the same. And then people are like, oh, okay, that does make sense. Notice how he had the aha moment when I was like, well, if you're selling your house for $30,000 more, what do you expect to pay in that same market? Some of you had the, oh, okay, that makes sense. So what else did you hear?
I like that when he was pushing back on the appointment, you didn't ask for an appointment. You kind of offered something of value, like more information. Would it make sense for you to get this information to make you more informed? So if he said no, that wouldn't make sense for him to do, right? So he kind of pushed him in a corner to say yeah. So I like that.
Another thing you can do is sometimes people just need a reason to say no to feel validated that they said no. So give them a negative question. And it could be like this, Jalen, would it offend you if I got you some information that would help your decision making when that time came? Right? Right? If you say yes, you sound like an idiot. How is that going to offend you getting information to help you buy something? So would it offend you if I offered some information? Or, hey, would it offend you if I give you some perspective? Hey, would it offend you if I provided you with information? Would it offend you if we got together and we talked about this so that I can get you the information you and your wife need to make a well-informed decision? It's a negative question that they get to say no to, which is like a powerful, like, yeah, I got to say no, but it's a good no. So good pickup on that, Joanne. Come on, what else? Share it up. Your ahas become other people's realization too.
In the beginning, you were good about isolating, other than wanting to get the highest price for your house. Anything else keeping you from selling this now?
You gotta uncover the real motivation. So
I like the now versus later analogy. Like if you wait, it's going to be worse.
So another thing I like to do, and I didn't get to do in this one because he really hasn't been waiting to sell his house. Like if he had said, well, I've been waiting for a year to sell my house. My favorite question in situations like that is, okay, what does it cost you so far? If you didn't sell your house during the boom, which is now becoming further and further in our pasts, people are still thinking about that. People are still like, oh man, I didn't sell my house during the boom. I need to wait until the next boom. That was a one and done situation. They'd never seen anything like that before. So we start asking people, what does it cost you so far? Well, notice how I kind of played into how long he's been away from family. Man, 8 years away from family, that's a long time. It's time to get back there. Like I'm pulling a little bit of those heartstrings, a little bit. But when you can put an emotional and a financial cost to something, you can motivate change. It's a coaching question, actually. So let's talk about things that have gone right in your life, what's gone wrong, right? Talk about your week, and if you haven't made your lead gen, and I can say, okay, well, what does that cost you? I don't get to tell you what it hurt or what the pain was. You get to tell you. And I don't know this or not, but your mind comes up with some pretty dark stuff. Mara should be proud of me. I said stuff. All right. We got minutes for more. So what else you got? Let's go. Or do you want to break out in some objection handling times? Some random stuff.
So I did mention prices are the highest, because I was doing the comp back in 2021, 2020, and 2022. And then to me, out here in Sierra Vista, with the house that I was doing, it looked like the prices were the highest, like today. Is that true? I did mention that, but is that true?
Let's take a survey from the group. My active agents that have seen some stuff. Are the prices higher now than they were at the beginning of the year? No, and I'm leaning on. I do hundreds of transactions through coaching. We see tons of deals across different markets, and I can tell you prices are not the highest they were. They've come down 3 to 5%, and they are trending downwards because interest rates slowed buyer momentum. Interest rates were a slug in the chest for some people because people that were qualified last year can't buy now, even with the prices dropping 10%, 15%, 13%. However, some markets, some neighborhoods are realizing higher gains, but they're very niche areas. Like highly desirable neighborhoods are always going to be good. But in a market just blanket statement, like I did a CMA for someone yesterday. One of my agents had a seller that wants to sell their house for $450 because one house almost a mile away sold for $430,000. And I was like, okay, that is not a market data set. That is a single home, and it's bigger, and it was built earlier. It's like it's a newer home, and it's in a better part of town, and it has a bigger yard, and. So please help me understand how your home is worth that much. When the 3 houses in your neighborhood that are within a stone's throw away, that are the same size, the same neighborhood, the same yard, built the same time, are 380. Irrational people will find that one piece of data and hold on to it. And that's okay. That's why when you say, no, you're wrong, because here's my opinion, now you become a target. So you bring out, like Jim said, like, here's the information. I'm not the one providing it. This is empirical data. I just pulled it up, and I love to pull it up with them, show them, hey, this is what's going on. Here's the trend. Here's the information. Here's the stats. Here's the numbers. Because when you Google your friends group on Facebook and they're like, yeah, your house is worth $1 million. Yeah, you're right. I watched HGTV twice, and I know everything about the real estate market. My cousin's brother's third neighbor's dog walker's hair groomer once told me that the market was going to crash next week, and I'm going to wait. Okay, well, here's the facts and data from people that are paid to know this stuff. Oddly enough, we're paid to know this stuff. So in some aspects, yeah, the market's the highest it's ever been. But blanket statement overall, Audra, no, it's down considerably. And as interest rates fall and people become more comfortable with the rates again, what's going to happen to buyer demand?
Going to go up, and prices are going to go up.
And then what happens to prices? So when people ask, is now a good time to buy or sell? So Jack Kehoe asked directly, he goes, isn't median sales price at an all-time high? Yes. Here's why. How many cheap homes are you seeing on the market these days?
Not many.
None. Where did they all go?
Investors.
So here's the thing. What is the median sales price? It's the sales price that is literally in the middle of the lowest sold house and the most expensive sold house, in the middle. So if we remove the $150,000 homes that were on the market that used to be just like that super ugly home that no one wanted, that the right investor would pick up and buy, those have been bought up in buckets by these investment firms. Now let's talk to a luxury agent. Amanda, are you seeing the upper end prices astronomically higher?
Mm-mm.
No, we're missing that super low bucket.
I think it's also really important to know and understand the statistics and what median means, like you just explained. What's the least expensive house on the market? It's $1 right now. There's a house for $1 on the market.
Yeah.
So that can be skewed by things like that to some degree. So you want to look at the trend over time.
There is a ton of data that people aren't getting. There's a ton of facts, actual facts, like here's the reality of things that people don't want to see. Your clients are going to want to justify their decisions based on the facts and data that support their narrative.
Mhm.
And if you want to lose a client, argue with them. If you want to win somebody over, hey, you know what? Try to see things from their side and then provide them resources so that they can self-identify that they're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough, but man, I am an arguer. I am a bullheaded individual. But there's also something I've said on this call before is you don't argue with a donkey. Because asses are asses. So if you've never heard the story of how the donkey said that the grass was blue, it's a little fable. Listen to it. I don't have time right now. So Shannon said maybe we discussed the difference between median and average. Well, the median, like we talked about, is the sales price that's directly in the center. Based on highest, lowest, this is the one that's in the center. This is the house for sale that's in the center. The average is adding up all the different sales prices and dividing them by the total number of sales.
Mm-hmm.
If a lot more expensive houses sold, then your average is going to go up. If the listing agents that have that $1 sales price continue to do stupid shit like that, then our median is going to go lower. It'll
one way to think about, like, if you only have a single high and a single low, so say you have $1 million home and you have a $0 home, right? Your median and average is going to be the same. They're both going to be 500,000.
Right.
Like if you have $1 million home and you have two $0 homes, your median is still 500,000, but your average is actually like 333,000.
Yeah, 333, 34.
Yeah.
So the median doesn't change very often when it comes to your fluctuating in the market. Your average will, because it's going to show you, it doesn't show you the representation of where the market's at. It just shows you what are selling more of, expensive homes or cheap homes. And since we've lost that body of very cheap homes, I'm saying cheap, not inexpensive, cheap homes, because they've been all bought up. I defy you to go on Craigslist right now and find a nice pre-owned truck with less than 100,000 miles for under 10 grand. 5 years ago, you could have found 50 of them. And right now, I found someone who wants $20,000 for something that's got 270,000 miles on it. You're insane. But everything's gone up. Prices, our expectations, minimum wage. So we have to look at things not so much as a comparison of the past, because that's going to create problems. We have to look at where it is compared to now in the same market set. We should look at 2020 as a reset to our understanding of things.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a buyer or a seller that has been researching the market prior to 2020, you're going to have a really hard time convincing them that things aren't going to go, back to where they're at, because they're hopeful.
I put a house in the chat. Guess what the price of that house is that I just threw in the chat?
180,000.
110.
110, and it's missing the side.
Yeah.
And
So
why
is it that there are houses allowed to be like put on the market for $1? I don't understand the point in any of that whatsoever.
It's supposed to be creating a frenzy.
It's an auction.com listing.
Yeah, and honestly, it doesn't work because people think it's a scam.
Oh.
There was an agent in Scottsdale that put up a $750,000 house for $1. It was part of the 72 sold agent base, and they did it for $1. just to get attention on it and have a bunch of showings and bring it up. And they actually sold it for $30,000 less than the neighbor's house because they did not get the traffic they thought they were going to get. It did not work. And there is such a thing as pricing a home too low. You create a stigma around it.
Mhm.
If I go to a garage sale and I see a Rolex in a box and it's $5, do I think that's a real Rolex?
It's 100% fake.
Yeah, I'm walking past it. I don't need no fake ass Rolex. But then I kick myself when somebody, hey dude, I bought a real Rolex from a garage sale for $5. I'm like, I saw that Rolex. However, I'm a consumer. I'm a normal individual. Most people that do not know the surface value of things with certainty are going to think they're fake. They're going to be bad scams. Now, if I see a Rolex at a garage sale that I know sells brand new for $20,000 and they're selling it for $15,000, hey, $5,000 off.
Maybe you'll pay 20.
Maybe. So here's the big takeaway, guys, is we got to have the facts and data to provide to be the source of the source. My name is not on a giant education firm that's going out there and researching real estate. However, Keller Williams does have a ton of intelligent people that do this for a living. They are statisticians. I don't know if I'm saying it right. They do stats for a living. I failed out of that class in high school. But statisticians, they get paid to go find this shit. And there's economists, they get paid to look at this stuff. They research trends. They research the market. They research buyer demand and consumerism. They research all this stuff. And there's reports that you get from your MLS every month. And if you don't, check the emails they send you. I guarantee you're getting it. That is data, undeniable third-party data. I don't need to tell you the market's shifting. I can show you. I don't need to tell you that you're overpriced. I can show you. I don't need to be the one that's coming up with all this great ideas about how things are going. I can show you. And then I just get you together with my information, your results, and your motivation, and I pair it. How do we get there? So take some time to look at some things. And if you're not researching your market every day, shame on you. If you're not looking at things, shame on you. If you got beat out on an offer of a house, you should watch that house until it closes and see what you got really beat out by. So now you know. The funniest thing to me is that when I get an offer get beat and then they go closing for $7,000 less than my offer was.
Repairs.
Exactly. So, guys, did you learn something today? Is it worth your time? So I'll see you tomorrow, Free for All Friday. Bring your questions, bring your comments, bring your concerns, your situations. I want to talk about more of this stuff because the scripting around how we handle different situations is going to make you more impactful and more successful. Plus a little bit of mindset. Till then, high five from the side.